So today we are unboxing ROG Xbox Ally X. And honestly, this thing looks like what would happen if an Xbox controller and a gaming laptop had a very expensive baby. Now, before I open this, let me be clear. This is not a cheap handheld. At around $999, this is in premium gaming device territory. So the big question is simple. Is this actually worth the money? Or is it just another expensive gadget that looks cool on the desk? So, let's find out. Starting with the box, the packaging feels very premium. You get that ROG gamer-style design, and because this is the Xbox Ally X version, it has that Xbox partnership feel too. This is not just a normal ROG Ally with a different sticker. This one is designed to feel more like an Xbox-style handheld PC. Opening the box, the first thing we see is the handheld itself. And right away, this thing looks clean. The black color makes it look more serious and premium compared to some brighter handhelds. It has that full controller-style grip, and honestly, that is one of the first things I like. Some handhelds feel like a tablet with buttons attached, but this feels more like a real controller with a screen in the middle. You also get the charger and a stand, which is nice because with a device like this, you are probably going to put it on a desk, connect accessories, or use it while charging. I do wish companies would include even more accessories at this price, maybe a carrying case, but at least the basics are here. Yes, it is portable, but no, it is not feather light. The ROG Xbox Ally X weighs around 715 grams, so after a long gaming session, you will feel it. But the grip design helps a lot. Because the sides are shaped more like an Xbox controller, it feels more natural than a flat handheld. For me, comfort is a big deal because performance does not matter if your hands start crying after 20 minutes. The buttons feel familiar if you have used an Xbox controller before. You get the A, B, X, Y buttons, D-pad, triggers, bumpers, Xbox button, command center button, library button, back buttons, and full-size analog sticks. The Ally X also has impulse triggers, which gives it a more controller-like feel. That is a big plus because this device is clearly trying to be more than just a mini Windows PC. Now let's talk about the screen. This has a 7-inch Full HD 1920 by 1080 IPS touchscreen with a 120Hz refresh rate, 500 nits brightness, FreeSync Premium, and Gorilla Glass protection. On paper, this is a very good handheld display. The 120Hz refresh rate makes menus, lighter games, and fast movement feel smooth. The 1080p resolution also makes sense on a 7-inch screen because it looks sharp without being ridiculous. But here's the honest part. This is not OLED. So if you are coming from something like a Steam Deck OLED, you might miss those deep blacks and extra contrast. The screen is still good, bright, and smooth, but OLED lovers may notice the difference. Personally, I think 1080p 120Hz with VRR is a smart choice for Windows handheld gaming, but OLED would have made it feel even more premium. Performance is where this device gets interesting. The ROG Xbox Ally X uses the AMD Ryzen AI Z2 Extreme with 8 cores and 16 threads, and it also has 24 GB of RAM. That is a lot for a handheld. You also get a 1TB SSD, which is very important because PC games are getting huge. Some games today install like they are moving into your house permanently. For lighter games, indie games, racing games, platformers, and older AAA titles, this device should feel very smooth. For big modern AAA games, you can definitely play them, but you need realistic expectations. This is still a handheld, not a full desktop gaming PC. So no, you should not expect every new game to run at ultra settings, 1080p, 120 frames per second. That would be like expecting a motorcycle to tow a semi-truck. The smart way to use this device is to adjust settings, use medium settings, performance modes, upscaling when available, and sometimes lower the resolution to get smoother gameplay. Yeah, I used to do that when I was playing PUBG on my phone. Back to topic. The good news is that the 120Hz screen and FreeSync help make gameplay feel smoother when frame rates are not perfect. Now, the biggest advantage of this device is Windows. Since it runs Windows 11, you are not locked into one store. You can use Xbox Game Pass, Steam, Epic Games, Battle.net, Ubisoft, and other PC game launchers. That is huge. It means this is not just an Xbox handheld. It is more like a small gaming PC with Xbox DNA. But Windows is also one of the biggest weaknesses. I will be honest. Windows on a handheld is powerful, but it is not always smooth like a console. Sometimes you deal with updates, pop-ups, launchers, settings, drivers, and random Windows behavior. The Xbox full screen experience helps make it feel more console-like, but underneath, it is still Windows. So if you want a simple turn on and play experience, this might not always feel as smooth as a Nintendo Switch or Steam Deck. But if you like freedom, customization, and playing from multiple stores, this device gives you way more flexibility. Battery life is another important part. This model has an 80 watt-hour battery, which is large for a handheld. That sounds great, and it is definitely better than smaller battery handhelds. But battery life depends heavily on what you play. If you are playing light indie games, streaming, or using lower power settings, you can get a much better experience. But if you are playing a heavy AAA game at high performance mode, the battery will drain much faster. So my honest battery opinion is this. The 80 watt-hour battery is a major strength, but do not expect magic. Powerful handheld gaming always has a trade-off. More performance means more power use. That is just physics showing up uninvited. The storage is also a big win. You get 1 terabyte, and it uses an M.22 280 SSD, which is better for upgrades compared to smaller SSD formats. That means if you ever want more storage, upgrading should be more practical. Plus, there is a micro SD card reader, which is useful for extra storage, older games, emulation, media, or smaller titles. For ports, you get USB-C options, including USB 4 on the Ally X, plus a headphone jack and micro SD card slot. That makes it easy to connect docks, monitors, accessories, controllers, keyboards, and external storage. So yes, this can also work like a mini PC setup if you want to dock it. Now let's talk about sound. The device supports Dolby Atmos and has stereo audio features, and for a handheld, it should be good enough for gaming without headphones. But for serious gaming, especially competitive games, I would still use earbuds or a headset. Built-in speakers are convenient, but headphones give you better detail and direction. So who is this device actually for? This is for someone who wants a powerful, premium handheld and does not want to be locked into one gaming ecosystem. If you already have games on Steam, Xbox Game Pass, Epic Games, and other PC launchers, this makes a lot of sense. It is also great for someone who travels, plays on the couch, wants a portable gaming PC, or wants something more powerful than basic handheld options. But who should not buy it? If you only play casual games, this is probably overkill. If you hate Windows settings and want a simple console experience, this might frustrate you sometimes. And if budget matters, $999 is a lot of money. At that price, you really need to know that you want a premium Windows handheld. Honestly, performance is strong for a handheld. The 24GB RAM is excellent. The 1TB SSD is practical. The 120Hz 1080p display is smooth. The Xbox-style grip is comfortable. The 80 watt-hour battery is a big upgrade. And Windows gives you access to a huge game library. But it is expensive. It is heavier than some handhelds. Windows can still be annoying on a small screen. It is not old-D, and for demanding AAA games, you still need to adjust settings. This is powerful, but it is not magic. So my final honest opinion is this. The ROG Xbox Ally X is one of the most exciting premium Windows gaming handhelds right now. It feels powerful, comfortable, and flexible. It gives you the freedom of PC gaming with a more Xbox-style experience. But it is not for everyone. This is not the cheapest handheld, and it is not the simplest handheld. This is for gamers who want performance, flexibility, and are okay with paying premium money for it. If you want a handheld that can play Xbox Game Pass, Steam games, Epic games, and a huge PC library in one device, this is a very strong option. But if you just want casual gaming, or you want the easiest plug-and-play experience, you may want to think twice. For me, this is not just an Xbox handheld. It is more like a mini gaming PC wearing an Xbox controller costume. And honestly, that is pretty cool. So that is all I have for now, but let me know in the comments. Would you buy this over a Steam Deck, a gaming laptop, or a regular console? And as always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and I'll see you in the next one.